Hello. So today I am beyond excited to bring this next video to everybody. It's something that, interestingly enough, a lot of people are talking about right now. It's like kind of on topic kind of thing. I'm so happy. I'm extremely ecstatic, and this is going to be a first for me. So typically, we all know I use some of my favorite products from some of my favorite stores, in particularly the Body Shop. So today we are actually going to take a step away and explore some products from a fabulous brand that's been much talked about recently and seems to have some absolutely fabulous products. So today we will be doing a contour video using only ANASTASIA Beverly Hills products. I'm so excited. I have this. So this is actually my favorite thing to use right now. It's fantastic. The cream colors on this palette. This is her medium shade contour kit in cream. These colors just blend together perfectly and give you everything you need. So the reason that I feel like contouring has been on the topics recently is because people think it looks really fierce, sharp, sophisticated, but they are lost at how to achieve that look. I mean, they try and then all of a sudden they feel like they look like they got punched in the side of the face. There's a big bruise. They paint it on. They have no idea what they're doing, they said. So we're gonna hopefully get rid of some of the uncertainty and bring in some knowledge. So first of all, contouring is not a new thing. It may be popularized as of late, but contouring has actually been around for a long time. So going back to the 16th century in England, they actually used to do it in stage plays. That's actually where it originated from. They used to take soot for the cheeks and chalk for your highlighter, so audience members far away could really see their facial expressions. You know, but you can imagine why that would be desired, especially considering that before electricity, so low lighting, you need to do everything to really amplify your audience's interaction, and their whole entire experience. So that's where it really originated from, to accentuate your features, just naturally. Now, like I said, it's been very, very popularized as of late. I don't know if that's because of like RuPaul, my girl. I don't know if that's, more of the family, the girls, because they paint their face daily, the drag queens, they're beat to heaven and back. I don't know if that's why, because people are finally starting to take a note of all of the fabulousness that's going on in that situation, or if it's just because people are finally feeling free enough to experiment with things that they've kind of probably always been a little interested in, but didn't really know what it involved. So hopefully, regardless of whatever brought you here today, you'll get something from it. So we're going to use our contour today to give us a kind of defined, fierce kind of look. I do go for a more natural look, so my contour is going to be a heavy contour, but it is going to be a lot more natural than a full drag beat face. So starting with how we apply our product. So I'm always really big into the whole process of everything. You want to make sure that you use the right ingredients, you have the right key components, so everything just comes together the way you want it to. So typically, when I do my makeovers, I have a whole fleet of brushes that I do use. One for contouring, one for highlighting, one for blending, one for blush, one for everything, every part of the step. Today, for the purposes of this video, and also to give us a little bit more definition, we're going to use one of my newest favorite brushes, a 2-in-1 brush from the Body Shop. So this guy is really cool because it's an eyeshadow brush traditionally. It has your slanted eyeshadow brush on one side, and then it has your blender on the other. 2-in-1, everything that you need. So we're actually going to be using this for the purposes of the video to give just a little bit more precision. So first of all, when you start with the kit, when you open it, you'll notice actually in the inside, it's not all one color. So if you look at it, this is actually how the kit looks when you're getting ready to use it. It has this amazing little screen that just kind of pops right off the top of it, and you can see the different colors. So if I can get good light, So there. So you can see the dimensions of color. We have our darkest shades down here at the bottom. And then we have our more medium shades here at the top. We also have a good highlight, and we have a blush color. So we have dark to light. And so for the purposes of this video, we're actually going to use everything on this palette together all at once. And I actually do like, for purposes of my makeovers, to typically lay everything out and then blend together as one. So you just really get the best transformation, but you also really get the process, and everything just naturally, evenly goes together. So starting out, we always want to go with contouring from lightest to darkest. So we're actually going to start with the concealer. So a lot of the times people aren't really sure of how to use a concealer, and you can see we're going to use our lightest shade here in the middle as our concealer. And these shades look really, really light, but they are fantastic because they blend right into your skin. So we're actually going to, and what I like to do with concealer is you do underneath the eye, up by the side of the cheekbone. You do it down by the corner of the nose. And you bring the cheekbone and connect it. So you do like kind of like a triangle and then fill in the middle. It's kind of fun. It's almost like painting. Paint inside your lines and then fill everything in as needed. Just paint it on. Left eye, up by the cheek, down the side of the face, and down the nose. So you just have this kind of like triangle. We're gonna blend, paint it in, blending layer, but we're painting right now. So now we have our first part of our highlight. There's a couple of places that you want to highlight. So you want to highlight underneath the eye, on the top part of the cheek. You want to highlight in the middle of the forehead. And I always just like to use triangles because they're cute and they're tidy. So you just do a triangle on the center of the forehead. You bring it down to the center of the nose. Down, center of your nose. And those are basically your key areas. Now, you can also highlight underneath your contour line, which we'll get to actually at the end of the video. And then typically you highlight in the middle also of your middle peak here, and also your chin area. Now, today I am rocking facial hair, so we're not going to paint all the way into the facial hair, but you'll still be able to see the good dimensions. So you do that. And then so we'll just go on next. So we have our blush shade, which we're actually going to save until towards the end of the video. We're just going to go from lightest to darkest. So we're going to go from light to the light brown. And you just go with the light brown right underneath where you made your lines. And so it's really actually easy to do this because you're kind of making like layers. You're layering it on top of each other, so it keeps everything kind of in like the same area. Oop. Alright, so now we're done with the lightest color right now, and then we're going to take our next lightest shade, and we're going to go underneath that. So you're just building the shades down the face. So when we get to our blending phase, it'll naturally just progress. And so we actually do use the shade on the top part of the forehead, going down. So you want to paint there. Now we're going to take our other darkest shade. And again, underneath. And you just want to go in long motions from cheek back towards the corner of the face. And so with this color, we're going to use our next shade down right now. We've been using that. We're going to take and we're going to go on the outside of the noses here. So just boop. We're going to go by the sides of where you've given your highlight in the corner of your nose. So this is called nose contouring. It's really nice for a lot of people that in one of my previous videos I mentioned some people aren't blessed with the perfect nose. Sometimes your nose is a little bit more full. And you want to counteract that and just give the illusion that, you know, your nose is not as full. So what you can do is you can darken the sides and bring like a wider ridge up top of your nose, what widens your nose front look, and then actually softens your nose on the sides. So that's what we're doing. It's nose contouring. You just darken the parts on the ridges of your nose, and then you highlight down the middle, and then blend together. And you'll see later, it just gives you this kind of nice illusion. So now in our phase, we're ready to add our blush. So we can see we saved the blush, the red color here, and we're just going to add that to the top back part of our highlights. We highlighted through our triangle here. We're adding it to the top towards the back, keeping the eye line consistent all the way through. So you see what the corner of your eye is, should follow through with the angle that you're using for your blush. So now, after you've applied everything, we're actually going to go through and we're actually going to soften all the lines just slightly. So we're just going to soften. And you always want to blend within what you're doing. You want to blend in. Naturally just soften your lines for this end. And then soften the other side. So after we already soften all the features, we're actually going to go back through and we're going to fully blend. So we're going to use and we're going to go in the same motion. So we're going to blend into the face, under the eye, in, out, and then up. Inside of our little triangle. Blending down when we blend out, and then when we blend under, we blend up. So with forehead, we're actually going to blend outside. So we're just going to bring that lightly out. You want to blend the edges completely out so they're not noticeable, but you do want to kind of leave a little bit of the lightness in the center. So let's blend out. We're going to blend in a little bit wider of a form down your ridge. So we're just going to blend widely all the way down the ridge. And then so for the nose contour, we actually blended up through the ridge of the eye and out. We can go back through that measure again. And then we're just going to blend all the way around. And voila! We have our contour. Provided by Miss Anastasia herself. And flawless skin. So you can just see the cheekbone is naturally accentuated, it's brought out. The dark side underneath the cheekbone is just going to give it a little bit of depth. And then so if it's not dark enough for some people's liking, we haven't used our darkest shade yet. So we can actually take through we're just gonna go right underneath where our contour was. And just add an extra layer. And then blend that up into everything. So, boop, boop, boop. And now you can see we have the most definition. So if you wanted to have a little bit more definition, you're gonna use your lighter shade on top of everything when you're done, just to give just kind of that like final pop. Now, like I told you at the beginning of this video, we do typically go for more of like a natural look for what I'm trying to do. So I would typically stop before the step. But if you want that really kind of defined cheekbone, you would just go back through and then a blend. It's very simple. Just take your line, just mark your line, and then blend up. But you want to make sure that you blend far enough that it does fully connect with everything that you've done. And voila! Now you have a full contour. You have your highlighted cheek, you have your full contour, you have your nose contour. And then so, a lot of people also do like to use a highlight for your brow. And this stuff is actually a fantastic eyebrow highlighter as well. So we're actually going to just show you that really quickly. You're just going to take your lightest shade here. Take your brow. So, and just line the corner of your brow with the highlight. So, just go in the natural shape of your brow. And so you're just going to do the corner. And then you're just going to take, and you're just going to blend from the corner all the way out. By the ridge of your eyebrow. So it's from corner to corner inside of the ridge. And so when you do eyebrow highlighter, it just kind of gives you that extra angular, sharp look that you can look. So when you have an angular eye, your cheekbone just pops just naturally a little more. So you have your eye, you have your cheek, and you just have your natural definition that you want. Just take a little. In the corner. All the way over. That way, again, you just have that natural ridge from top to bottom. So it just ridges in. That ridge should give you a little bit more angular cheek. And the definition that we've created in the shadow should make your cheekbone pop even more because of the shadows, the undertones that we've accentuated. So that's it. Simple as sugar cookies. Thank you. This is DC Lee again. Have a a good one.